Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Mape News.
I am here to talk to Frederick Douglass. He is a well-known abolitionist and a former slave fighting for freedom. Today, he will tell you more about his part in the abolition movement. Now, a warm welcome for Frederick Douglass. So, Mr. Douglass, I have heard you published your autobiography. How do you think this will affect slaves and others in the abolition movement? My goal with this book is to reach out to even more people. When I first spoke in 1941, everyone in the audience was so stirred that I have continued speaking for the past few years and along the way writing my autobiography. All I can say is I hope everyone takes my sharing of experience as a chance for them to begin to tell their stories. I was touched by your stories. Would you mind sharing some with us today? As you know, I was born a slave. I saw my mother about 5 times before she passed away when I was 7. I don't know who my father was. All I know is that he was white. I witnessed all of the brutalities of slavery, the whippings, the feelings of being cold and hungry. When I was 8, I was sent to Baltimore. I learned to read there and found out about the abolitionist movement. Years later, I was sent back into brutality. I finally fled when I was about 20 years old to New York City and began my life as a freed man. Wow, that is certainly
Wait, hold on.
Hello? Yeah, you want to go to the movies? Yeah, okay. Well, I'm kind of in the middle of something, but after, yeah, that sounds good. Now, back to the question. Did it help being an advisor to Mr. President Lincoln? Yes, it actually did. I was the one to convince him that freedmen, one word, should be able to fight for the North. Many freedmen wanted to, but we were not able. But thanks to me, that is now possible. You've done so many amazing things. Thanks for sharing them. Goodbye. Bye.
Breaking news! I've just been informed that the infamous Nathaniel Turner has been captured and is being held at the county jail. Sources say he has been eluding his capture in the Dismal Swamp area and was found by a local hunter. Officials say he surrendered peacefully. He has been accused of murdering 60 people, but the total number of deaths has yet to be determined. Turner claimed his acts were a result of a sign from God, instructing him to lead his people out of slavery. His trial is set for next week, but those are the only details that have been released regarding his arrest so far. There has been almost no progress in the tracking of his accomplices, but the militia has received numerous anonymous tips concerning the current locations of the men. And now to Emma for an update on the abolitionist movement.
The abolitionist movement has been growing bigger and bigger. Most northern states have abolished slavery, or the slaveholders have been slowly officially freeing the slaves. Just recently, in 1807, the act of bringing new slaves from Africa here to the USA has been banned. Many of the Americans that are fighting for the slaves to be free have begun speaking out in public. People are calling this the abolition movement. Many abolitionists, white and black, have been spreading the word in one way or another. Some will write about it, some will go through the church, and some will lecture to the public. So far, their methods have been working to spread the word. More and more abolitionists have been working to emancipate slavery altogether. For the free slaves, there's still the problem of racial segregation. Will it end? This has been your update on the abolitionist movement. Thank you for tuning in.
Now for weather. It's a cloudy fall day with a slight breeze. Now to Micah. Have started to argue that they have a positive effect on the slaves. They claim to provide, quote, shelter, food, care, and regulation for a race unable to compete in the modern world without proper training, end quote. The South is grasping onto their utopia they have created on the backs of the slaves. They hold the burden of fighting against the emancipation of the slaves as a badge of tradition. And now to Anna.
Mr. William Lloyd Garrison is the creator of The Liberator, an anti-slavery paper, and is the founder of the New England Anti-Slavery Society and the American Anti-Slavery Society.
Well, I first got involved with the American Colonization Society and the movement when I was 25. However, I soon realized that I didn't agree with the society and started working at the Genius of Universal Emancipation, which is where I got the idea to start my own paper.
What do you hope to accomplish through The Liberator?
I hope it will push for the immediate emancipation of all slaves. America is the home of the free and the land of the brave. If you live on this soil, you are American, no matter the color of your skin. I hope that one day the black people of this country will be equal in every way possible to the whites.
That's a pretty big goal.
I realize that, but if we want to see our country and the world change, we have to make it happen.
You have a reputation of being the most radical of abolitionists. What are your feelings on that?
Although I have a lot of persistence and am willing to go on to great measures, I strive to approach the subject with nonviolence and passive resistance. I think that as the movement grows, we have to be careful not to gain a reputation of violent people who have no plan of action for after we achieve our goal.
You sure do stand up for what you believe.
If you're going to get anything done, you have to be. It's important to involve everyone, which is why we involve women and don't take side in politics.
Thank you for taking time to talk to us today, Mr. Garrison. I know you are very busy.
It's really no problem.
Even though reformers are working to help enslaved African Americans, the epidemic of slavery runs rampant in the South. I'm here today with Erin Kwiatkowski to talk with her about her life, her work, her owners, her social outings. So Erin, how long do you work each day? And what do you do during that time?
Well, I started out in the cotton fields, working from dusk to dawn. But then my master took me to take care of his kids, and that's an around-the-clock job.
Cotton fields.
If I didn't reach my quota, they would beat me. That's how I got these scars.
Did you ever try to rebel?
I saw many people, stronger than I, try to rebel, but each and every one failed. That's why I never rebelled in the fields.
What about in your home here?
You could say I was pretty rebellious.
Fold the blanket. You kept hope throughout the entire thing.
I haven't.
Oh. Have you heard of Denmark Vesey? He planned a slave revolt in Charleston, South Carolina.
Yes, and he failed. They all do.
And that concludes our interview with Erin Kwiatkowski. Thank you for your time, Erin.
You're welcome.
Now let's talk about Mormons. As we speak, members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are being chased out of their communities and being forced to relocate. They are facing discrimination and are categorized as the distinct minority by the Protestants. Nearby settlers claim their economical and political power is threatening, and their behaviors are frowned upon by many. But does that give them the right to chase them away across the country? Violent uprisings against the Mormons have forced them to continue to run. Recently, they have sought refuge in Illinois, and there are rumors of the founding of a new town. Tension between the Protestants and the non-Protestants increased dramatically this week as the Mormons' founder and leader Joseph Smith was killed during a violent conflict resulting from his intention to run for president. For the update on the Southerners.
No, guys.
Southerners response.
Not make any sense. I'm not going yet. And then...
Are you going?
Hello.
Micah, you can't just do that because it's not going to be focused and it looks bad when it's not focused. Go!
Did you ever try to rebel?
I saw many people, stranger than I.
Stronger.